jump right into today's Dallas Cowboys mailbag. I am Tom Downey, as always, here on the Cowboys Report. We got a super chat to get things going from Ajay. Does Kellen Moore play Madden to get his game plan for the week? It's funny. I'll approach it this broadly here as the issues with the Cowboys game plan and play calling. Boy wonder not been that great as of late. And again, it's not just the play caller. It's not just the quarterback. Not just the offensive line. Not just the ground game. Not just the receivers. It's all of it. I'll make this point, though. I don't think Kellen Moore has ever designed a great run game in his time in Dallas. And I am very confused why the Cowboys got back on track on the ground against Washington, utilizing outside runs. Where were those against the Cardinals? Use those. Run the plays that work, man. Get the ball to a mark. Dalton Schultz is great. He should not be, or he's good. He should not be your leading receiver. I think that's a failure of the play calling more than anything, although it is everything at some level. All right, from Matt Guillen. Need to keep Gregory, Schultz, and Wilson, so let Gallup walk. I mean, if the difference is Schultz and Wilson versus just Gallup, I totally get where you're coming from. Gregory in that mix as well. I don't know if it's a need to keep one or the other. You could maybe draft a tight end early this year if you want to pursue that route. So I think there are multiple avenues that could all make sense for you. If that's the route you want to go, I understand it. I don't know how the injury impacts Gallup's future. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Super chat from Dukebothers. Should the Cowboys sign Antonio Brown to replace Michael Gallup? Sorry, I had to. I don't know if you were trolling or being serious, but I've been DM'd and tweeted this several times already, so I will use this opportunity as my formal Antonio Brown statement. Hell no. Signing Antonio Brown is the worst idea in the history of ideas, maybe ever. It's horrible. Antonio Brown, everywhere he's gone, has been a locker room cancer. He was a problem in Pittsburgh. He was a big problem with the Las Vegas Raiders. He ended up getting cut by the Patriots. And you're going to sign a guy who went ahead and danced himself off the sidelines? I know there's he didn't think he was healthy enough. Okay? Why would we believe Antonio Brown? About anything Antonio Brown has done publicly makes you think, yes, he's telling us the truth this time. Why would I believe him? I don't want him anywhere near my team. I know he's talented. It's not going to be different this time. I don't want him. Terrible idea. Now, we'll leave this up to democracy because I love democracy. Would you sign Antonio Brown? FAB for no, FAB for hell no. Get those votes in at the pinned comment. That's what we're doing on today's video. Because no, you don't want to sign Antonio Brown. To get the ad break here on YouTube, take advantage and go type FAB. From Mystic Mike Gamer, get it together, Dallas Cowboys, or watch from home. Go Cowboys. He ain't wrong. At a certain point, even if it's not fair, the Cowboys have to do this. Win games. This is what happens when you become a good football team. You start to enter the situation where you've got to start winning. You're beating bad teams like the way you're supposed to do. You've actually beaten some good teams. But until you win all the games, there's always going to be the doubters in the end. Bobby Pruitt, has anyone seen the graph of the last 5 seasons where Dallas has averaged 10 yards of penalties more than their opponent? I know what you're referring to, Bobby. Statistical fact here. The Cowboys have been among the most penalized teams, and their opponents have been among the least penalized teams over that 5-year span. I do not believe in conspiracy theories. I simply believe that NFL officials suck at their jobs, but that's not how it's supposed to be. And I think at some level it is this team gets penalized, we'll keep an eye on it more, and it just leads to a snowball effect of they think they're making penalties, they keep getting flagged for it, even if it's not easy or fair. From Corey Slinger, however you pronounce it, move Jarwin to wideout. I don't know why you would do that. I mean, if you want to make him a big slot, okay. But the reason why Blake Jarwin is able to win is because he's lined up against linebackers. You're putting a 6'5", 260, 250 guy out at receiver. He's not going to get open against outside corners. So Jarwin's a tight end. He's just more of the move tight end, the type of guy who's not going to be a dynamic blocker. Although I'll say this, getting him back for 12 personnel, that one running back, 2 tight end package, is a big deal because Sean McHugh and Jeremy Sprinkle ain't it. Today's show is powered by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Cowboys125. That gets you a 125% deposit bonus. You can bet on all kinds of things when you put down at least $100. For example, Defensive Player of the Year odds. TJ Watt is the betting favorite, unfortunately, as he should be at -350. Micah Parsons plus 200. Trayvon Diggs, by the way, down there at plus 3,300 as well. Watt's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. But if you want to bet on Micah, put your money where your mouth is, plus 200. Remember, $100 in, extra 125 to bet with, just in case you get some bets wrong. Mario Vega, why does Dak think about it too much to run? Him not running doesn't confuse the defense because they know he's going to stay in the pocket. He's ran more the past couple games. I think the philosophy, whether it is wrong or right, has been this. You don't want to jeopardize the injury, and you want to look for the big play downfield in the early part of the year. Later on in the year, there's a reason why in this game they finally ran the read option, because it's kind of crunch time. You don't want to jeopardize that week one, have your quarterback get hurt again. I can understand that. Dak has tucked and ran it a lot more. And by the way, he had a nice 10-yard scramble on 3rd down. Got you the first down, got called back for holding. Also scrambled one for 11 yards. So he did run more the past couple games. I think you'll see that continue in the postseason. From Will Marshall, Chase gets deep balls in Cincy. Why can't Lamb in Dallas? That secondary in Arizona should have been tested deep, period. Part of this is Arizona frequently had 2 deep safeties. So they're trying to take away the big play because that concerns them. But I think you're also right here. It is, I think it's a play calling issue where you're so committed to avoiding the disaster sack or fumble or whatever that you aren't pushing the ball downfield. Push it downfield more. Try to dial the plays on beyond just play action. And I'll say this, not just CeeDee Lamb. How about Amari Cooper? There's no better sluggo route runner in the NFL than Amari Cooper. That needs to get run a little bit more. So I think it's a play calling issue. Whatever the root cause is, you got to find a way to utilize that 4th quarter fastball offense, which I think they did against Washington, a bit more frequently. If you guys want free Cowboys videos every single day, you have come to the correct spot. Hit that big red button and subscribe right here in the Cowboys Report. We are moving closer and closer, by the way, to doubling up that poverty franchise over in Washington. I think we might get there at some point in the offseason. M. Hightower, are we going to see a fake wide receiver screen deep pass anytime soon? They did run that, and Dak, if I'm remembering correctly, got absolutely rocked by a free rusher because it just took too long to develop. You're right. I think that should be in the play calls. Against the Cardinals, they ran that quads CeeDee Lamb bubble screen, which was only a pick 6 because it was way too obvious, and that's on your play caller. Run the fake screen out of that and send one of your receivers leaking downfield for a big play. Super chat from Nate Lopez. Before the delay of game that wasn't called, was that not a fumble and still in bounds? Pretty sure it was actually on the delay of game penalty, but you're right. It was a fumble. And the reason why I was so mad post-game is because that is supposed to be able to be reviewed. The NFL this year instituted some changes in their replay system, allowing New York to buzz down and get the call overturned in this exact situation. Should have been called a fumble on the field, although, to be honest, live, I thought he was down, but it was out. Clear recovery by the Dallas Cowboys. That should have been overturned. It was not, and that was the failure of the refs. That's not going to show up in the missed call side, in the stats and the data that's been going around, but that was a big mistake by the officials. Not the only reason they lost, but a big mistake. Israel M. Is this Mukwamu? If Kellen Moore is stashing plays for the playoffs, would you be worried to sign him as a head coach if you were a GM? I think it was Dan Orlovsky who floated this out there. If you're stashing plays and just not calling the good ones now, that's stupid. I just wouldn't understand it. Like, go win games. Like, go win the games right now. Or are you that unconfident in your offense that you think there's only a handful of plays that are going to work come playoff time? So, look, I get not giving away the entire bag, but I don't know, win games first and foremost is my mindset. From BossMan Skinny, funny here. So is Kelvin Joseph starting now? I kind of think so, yeah. Against Arizona, late in the game, and I don't think it's because of any injury, Dallas benched Jourdan Lewis. Kelvin Joseph moved to the outside. Anthony Brown moved into the nickel. Now, Brown has outplayed Lewis here, although both guys have not been bad this season. But in a limited sample size, Joesph has looked awesome. So there's some risk involved here, of course, but I'm okay with it. I think you're sitting the lesser of your corners right now if it is indeed Jourdan Lewis. Good problem to have. What do you guys think, though? You're obviously not going to bench Trayvon Diggs despite the sometimes laughable arguments out there around Joesph. So pick one to bench for me, or around Diggs, excuse me. Pick one to bench. KJ for Kelvin Joseph, JL for Jourdan Lewis, or AB, the good AB now, since Antonio Brown continues to be a clown, AB in the comments. Mark Hovsepian, Jerry's the problem by overhyping players and coaches, then overplays payers to try to justify it. Dak and Zeke not worth number 1 money. Tank and Coop not worth number 3 money. Tank's not getting number 3 money anymore. Dak's not getting number 1 money right now. So I think part of the mindset we should adopt is you got to look big picture here. Might be number 1 or number 3 or number 5 for a year, although Zeke has stuck up there for a long time, and I'm not going to argue against that one. It changes quickly. So, honestly, I think the bad contracts given out, I think Zeke's probably the number 1 up there, and not to mention the Jalen Smith one, which I loved and ended up not being a good one at all. But, Mark, thanks for the super chat. Trent M., with our receivers in the bottom 5 for getting separation, who do you think that's on? I haven't looked at the separation number, so I'll just trust that you're right. Might be a scheme thing, honestly. Should be able to get your receivers open. Like, you've got Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb. Those guys should be getting open for you pretty easily. So I think that's my mindset, that you should be getting more separation for those guys. We see the great teams, Chase and Hill and Tyreek Hill and Jamar Chase and Devontae Adams. Those number 1 receivers are feasting. Why aren't Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb doing the same? Even Justin Jefferson with not great quarterbacks feasting. I think that's a coaching thing more than anything.